Okay, check. And we are live. So, warm welcome to each and everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and waiting for every weekend event for our Let Us Talk It Zipinar. So, we appreciate your time and as well as we wanted to present to you great speakers with some wonderful topics that is brought to the table today. And it is a very interesting topic, and we'd love your interactions towards our speakers and in their respective topics that they wanted to discuss and share to us today. So, beforehand, this Let Us Talk It Zepinar is made possible by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. So, they're an IT company based in Detroit, Michigan, United States. And if you, anyone would like to get IT services consultations or staff augmentation informations, you can visit the website. It's www.cogentibs.com. So feel free to do so. And for this webinar, we call it Zipinar as instead of webinar because we try to zip in two different topics in a singular event. So in just one session, like a zipper. So there's two things you zip in just one option, so that we can minimize the time consumption of the one watching, and for those who will be like watching the recorded session live as well, just into 1 hour, but you'll get two different topics in just one go. And more of that, the first topic that we will be having today is role of artificial intelligence AI in a PMO. So yes, AI is very rampant. It's everywhere right now. So it's really a trending topic, and uh, organizations are evaluating how they should manage AI. So a double-edged sword to their advantage and reap the many benefits it has to offer. And all this impacts which projects should be executed by companies and how they should ultimately be managed. And that's where the PMO comes in. And should it wait for its firm to develop an AI focused like mandate, or should it be proactive about taking the necessary steps to elevate project management within the company using AI? So this session that we have today with our speaker will delve into that area of artificial intelligence and in PMO. So that's Project Management Office. And our speaker today is a PMO-preneur and a CEO at Parwaz Consulting. And he is also a trainer, a speaker, of like a PMO author, and helps Fortune 500 companies, PE-backed firms, and SMB setup, rejuvenate, resurrect, and rebrand PMOs, and also level up project delivery teams. So more than 12 industries across 8 countries, over 19 years managing and setting up initiatives or project managements, and also LinkedIn Learning instructor. And more of that will be shared by himself, about himself, and also delve into the topic. So without further ado, I'll pass the mic to Sir Hussein Bandukwala.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you for let us talk it, and thanks, Cogent IBS, for having me here. I really appreciate the invite, and I appreciate sharing this. So, as you mentioned, so timely topic with the audience here. I will go ahead and quickly share my screen, and with a thumbs up, everyone, if you could go ahead and let me know if you can all see my screen or not. That would be very helpful. Yes, good to go. Can I go ahead and get started?
Yep.
All right.
Screen is
Yep.
visible.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So I'll be talking about role of AI in a PMO, right? And before I get started, I want to hear from all of you. Why are you here? Why are you interested in PMOs? I know some of you have joined here. So in the chat, can you please tell me whether are you setting up a PMO for the first time? Are you just interested in project management? Are you optimizing your PMO? We have a few participants here today. If in the chat you could let me know, that would be fantastic.
Yes, feel free to chat, everyone. And yes, the chat is available.
Great. I know some people have been chatting, have been including some things in chat. So
And yes, we have one from live. He said optimize PMO.
optimizing PMO. Okay, great. And then if I wanted to go ahead and ask the same person the question, has your company adopted AI? Yes, no, maybe, or don't know. No, Samida says no, company has not adopted AI.
Yes, we have one from live. Yes, announcing Tarun Jain, his name, the one who said optimize PMO, and yes, he said.
They have adopted AI. Okay, and so the question is, has your PMO adopted AI? Yes, no, maybe, or don't know. I guess for Samida, that's going to be a no, because if the company is not adopted AI, chances are PMO is not adopted AI either, right? But I know that, with generative AI and ChatGPT and all these things that are happening right now, it feels like AI has sort of taken the world by storm. But the reality is that AI has not just arrived, it's been around for quite some time, right? And so maybe some examples that we have come across, but not having realized that AI has been really the driver behind some of those things. So for instance, in managing businesses, chatbots are a great example of AI technology in place. Or in e-commerce, you have fraud detection. In marketing, you might have predictive customer service. In healthcare, you have tissue sample and compound analysis. In travel, you have price search and custom expert tips. And at home, Siri, cleaning robots, self-driving cars, even financial portfolio management, all have an AI engine that has been driving it, right? It's just that with generative AI, this has really become a household name for everyone today, right? And not just that, but even in the world of PMOs and project management, AI has not been new. We've had some tools around project management that have focused on building portfolios with scenario planning. AI is driving that. Or you might have some automated workflows for task assignments. AI is behind that. Some reporting or even risk predictions are things that AI powers. And the reality is with generative AI catching on, more and more project management tools and more PMOs and organizations are jumping on the bandwagon to see how they can leverage this technology now that there's a lot of awareness around, and enable and empower people to capitalize on it, right? And so what does AI really do? I love this graph from BCG, or Boston Consulting Group, where AI typically has 5 distinct functions based on context. 5 distinct functions, right? So it could be an automator where AI has all the context and needs to reach a conclusion very quickly. That is where it automates things, automates not just the decision, but the task and the action that needs to follow up. So such as marketing offers are a great example where AI is becoming as being the automator. Or even the decider, right? Where AI has some context, but a human touch is needed for execution. So for instance, AI has enough information, enough knowledge to provide a suggestion on what needs to be done, what decision needs to be made, but a human being needs to actually execute it, right? So for instance, call center optimization, what to say and how to say it. So AI provides the information in terms of what and how to say it. A human needs to deliver that message. AI often acts as a recommender as well. So it may not have enough context to make the decision itself, but may have enough knowledge to provide some options where the human then needs to make the decision based on the options and then execute the task, such as promotional calendar creation. Or it could be an illuminator, where inherently creative work benefits from machine learning, right? And humans should just leverage AI generated insights, such as, having some sort of analysis on the patterns of the complaints that they're receiving from customers. And finally, evaluator, where there's just not enough context, the stakes are high, and humans should just generate scenarios for AI to evaluate, right? So automator, decider, recommender, illuminator, or evaluator, right? And so why does all of this matter? This matters because it improves efficiency. It improves collaboration. It helps faster turnarounds, reduces human error, leads to lesser mundane activities, and that means happier workforces, right? And so in the context of a PMO or project management, what you see in all the little gray boxes, you have schedule management, financial management, deliverables management, managing the scope, managing risks, managing people, managing reports, managing stakeholders. Project management essentially involves all these disciplines. With AI, it takes away the mundane work, the boring work, the administrative overheads, things like preparing meeting minutes, running after people and creating status reports, assigning tasks, following up on activities, producing and brainstorming risks and issues, coming up with and assigning schedule activities to different people, even thinking about coming up with mechanisms to identify which projects should be making the cut, which shouldn't, automation of that intake and prioritization. All of that can essentially be taken over by AI, allowing project managers to be even more proactive and focus on being even more people-centric, doing things that AI generally can't, such as building relationships, motivating team members, reuniting lost colleagues, uh, facilitating decisions, understanding the impact of the project instead of just focusing on the outputs. All of these things can amplify project success, which when project managers and PMO leaders aren't able to do because they're literally running from meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And after everyone's gone home, they sit down and do their own work, which AI can now take over and help them with. So think of AI as yet another team member, another resource that you can partner with and ensure that you're leveraging its power and you're focusing on things that really matter to you and that are really in your wheelhouse, right? So a lot of things, a lot of opportunities with project management tools, with AI technologies that need to come in play. But with that said, all of this just can't happen as easily as we think. It's not just like opening up ChatGPT and starting putting things together. Yes, some of those things can really be helpful. So for instance, if you wanted to go ahead and create a project charter, giving some relevant context, ChatGPT can help spit out really, really good information that can save you hours in producing that deliverable. But in terms of having holistic, comprehensive usage across your organization, there needs to be proper planning. And especially for the PMO to adopt it, it really needs to be a methodical, systematic approach, which I want to talk about right now. So as I said earlier, there are so many uses and benefits of AI within PMOs and project management. But what are we really going to be focusing on? We need to first identify the scope of work. Then we need to focus on the readiness of the organization and the PMO. Then we need to do a bit of assessment in terms of where we are. Then we need to actually execute and then manage and monitor the whole process. So I'll just go ahead and quickly walk through all of these steps and share with you what I mean by all of these, right? So what focus areas of project management are we really identifying? Do we want to focus only on the intake and prioritization? Do we only want to focus on predictive risk management? Do we want only auto scheduling? Do we just want to focus on the mundane tasks like meeting minutes and follow-ups? What are the elements that we want to adopt at this point in time for the PMO? And do we want to do a several combination? Is it, what are the driving needs for it? Are project managers and PMO leaders and other stakeholders really asking for this change? Will it really be beneficial for them? Those are things that we need to really identify and define before we can take the next step. Once we've done that, then we take a pulse of the organization and the PMO's readiness. Now, AI just doesn't operate in vacuum. It needs data. It needs data that is accurate. It needs data that is easily accessible. It is data that can be produced over and over again in a very quick amount of time frame. Because clearly, garbage in will mean garbage out. If you put bad data, AI will only operate on that. And it'll produce outputs and outcomes that you don't really desire. So is your data in good shape? That's number one. Number two, where are you from a process perspective? Are all your project management processes streamlined already? Do they need some work? If you do, go ahead and focus on the efficiency of some of the work that you're focusing on in terms of project management, but you have other roadblocks and hindrances. Will that really diminish all the work that you're putting in to get AI and introduce that within the PMO in the organization? That is something that you have to look at. And then finally, people, right? Is this something that they want? Is that something that they need? Is this something that they have enough technology affinity and maturity to adopt or even learn quickly? If not, can we identify a small subset of people, perhaps people from a certain office or a certain region or a certain department, or even identify and handpick some projects that can be used initially as pilot projects to see how all of this approach is working out. That is something that comes as part of the readiness of this whole process. Next comes assessment. So a lot of project management tools are now starting to implement AI. If not, some of them have already been doing this for a while. Which tools are we going to focus on? And do we have enough expertise and capacity to implement and roll it out ourselves within the organization, or do we need a third-party vendor or a consultant to help us through that process, right? And it's not just teaching people in terms of how to use, but in terms of data integration, in terms of data cleansing, in terms of making sure that the processes that to produce that data are streamlined, in terms of the organizational change management that needs to be put in place to measure and monitor the right amount of adoption. Do we have enough manpower for that? If not, who are the vendors or consultants that can help us with that? That is what the assessment piece is all about. And once we get through that, then we get into the execution, right? Implement the tool, implement organizational change management, do the necessary, the trainings and teachings, any sort of pre-work or post-work that needs to be done needs to happen, and then you roll it out. And then finally, once that's done, then how are we progressing with it? Are we achieving the necessary results? So if we wanted to go ahead and improve our efficiency in certain areas, are we able to hit that? If we're looking at further collaboration or project leaders spending more time in certain areas now, are we doing that? Are we seeing a decline or increase in the quality of the reporting? And as we go about doing that, if we went ahead and sort of initially focused on certain office areas, certain projects, is there now enough interest from other areas within the organization that want to now start adopting AI? And if that's the case, let's start focusing on working towards that as well. And so while PMOs are integral in the adoption of AI themselves, what if the PMO, what if an organization was just interested in leveraging AI for other things beyond projects? Can the PMOs be of help there? Absolutely. PMOs can really take the lead in ensuring that the data is ready for the adoption and implementation of AI. It can focus on identifying what are some of the initiatives and projects that can be taken to pilot AI that's in place. It can partner with HR and the learning and development teams within organizations to identify what are the skills that need to be developed. And finally, it can take the lead in organizational change management, moving from requirements to execution, moving from hesitation to adoption, moving from stress to calmness, and getting the benefits of AI as it's supposed to be, right? So that is where PMOs and AIs really come together, and joining forces together can make a massive impact to their organization. And so with that, I wanted to go ahead and ask all of you who are here today, whether joining in Zoom or joining live, is what AI experiences have you had with your PMO? Are any of you who are on the call today, on the webinar today, or the Zipinar today rather, have you had any experiences with AI and its adoption within the organization? Or if you have any questions around PMOs and AI and the role, please feel free to go ahead and ask me now.
All right. So questions are entertained at this part. So anyone from the attendees who would like to answer the question that Sir Hussein was asking, or if you have any questions, you can bring it to the table now. Yes, Sir Harry.
What AI experience have you had with your PMO? Yeah, frankly, so far nothing from the PMO side of it, right? We haven't experienced anything from the PMO side as far as AI is concerned, but the requirement side of it, we usually get some requirements internally to how do we automate the recruitment process? How do we streamline the or filter out the lot of this fake submissions, the CVs that we receive day in day out? Can we use the AI chat GPT kind of solutions to these areas? The solution perspective, we keep getting these questions and internal requirements, but I don't know how do I translate it to the PMO here.
And it may not be the case that the PMO really needs to be involved here, but the fact that the other elements of the organization, like I mentioned in my previous slide, that they're actually going for it, and the PMO can just be a supportive organization there, right? So for instance, if you are looking for a use case where you need to help out HR to flesh out all these fake resumes, where can the PMO help with that, right? Or if you want to go ahead and draw out requirements, which is actually very project driven, how can you maybe develop certain chat GPT prompts that can get you the necessary information, and to what degree of follow-ups that you need to do on chat GPT to get to the core elements that you need. I've used chat GPT for quite a few different things, and depending on no matter how detail-oriented my initial prompt is, I often have to go ahead and ask it a few more prompts to get it to the level that I'm satisfied with, right? And so PMOs can certainly be helpful there, and also not just that, but perhaps it can even run sessions within the organization to ask for such use cases that are prompting up within the organization, so that maybe people who were coming up with these challenges don't really realize that AI can help them with that, and it can really be just an evangelist and promoter of AI within the organization, if not anything else.
Makes sense.
Great point, Hari. Thank you. So, John, any other questions?
Yes. Anyone from the attendees would like to ask questions? For now, we'd just like to know if are there any best practices or frameworks for implementing AI and PMOs that can be recommended, or you can recommend to those who will be listening.
Yes, I just walked you through that. The process that I walked through is a comprehensive, holistic way to understand what it is that you need to do in terms of implementing AI within a PMO.
Already. And checking live. So yeah, we don't have any questions on live yet. But for here in Zoom attendees, feel free to utilize the chat and put in your questions or insights. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, actually, are there any like the new tools like, I know as far as the project management is concerned, we all have been using more of the agile side, the Jira, Rally, Azure, GitHub, those kind of Kanban or Scrum kind of boards, right? Are there any other new tools that are coming in with the help of the AI or ChatGPT intervention of these new technologies in the PMO side of it for the project management?
Yeah, that's a great point, Hari. I know that, for predictive risk management, RAID log is a tool that it focuses only on risk and issue management. But RAID log, it's called, I think, raidlog.com, is using AI technology to start focusing on predictive risk management, where based on the nature of the project, you feed it historical project data and it can spit out risks that it thinks that the project will encounter, right? So that's a great example. In the past there were some more advanced PPM tools. I believe it might be Clarity and PlanView, if not others, who have AI baked in for scenario planning to optimize project portfolio management. So based on the budget information and the strategic alignment and benefits and things like that, it can, you can go ahead and tweak different, parameters to see which portfolio combination is going to give you the biggest bang for the buck, right? And I know that, and I'm not sure of the names, Hari, but I know that there are other tools now that are using, trying to incorporate AI where they can go ahead and use things like a project business case or project scope statements and actually spit out the project schedule, initial project schedule that project managers can focus on, right? So all of those things are definitely in play for a lot of project management tools.
Great, thank you.
Yep. Another tool, sorry, Hari, one more thing. Greyfly.ai, I believe, is doing quite a few things in the AI space for project management as well. So you may want to check that out as well.
Can you repeat that one more time, please?
Greyfly.ai. Grey fly.ai. Great question, Hari.
Got it. Yep. Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right, Fedor, I think sort of on top of the half hour.
Yes. Yeah. Exact. Yeah. I didn't notice, but yeah. Thank you so much for bringing the one up. So, yes, the first part is covered, and yeah, anyone still who have questions, you can still put it in chat. Sir Hussein will be staying if yeah, if he has time to, and we'll be taking care of those questions. And yes, sir. Before we end the first part, or like the end of your topic, you can promote um some business or future endeavors you will be doing. So you can invite the audience that we have right now, and for those who will be watching this recorded session later.
Yeah, sure. So thanks for that, Phil John. I just want to go ahead and quickly share, as you mentioned earlier, that I help organizations set up, optimize, resurrect, and rebrand PMOs, and I also provide custom project management workshops for companies to upskill their project management talent within organizations. I've done that for clients like Groupon, Finca, WRI, Harbor, and other Fortune 50 and global brands across the world. And because of that work, we've had some great results, not in terms of just the PMO impact, but also individual benefits for PMO leaders themselves. And so if people are interested in any sort of, consulting, coaching, or, tailored workshops around project management and PMOs, I'd be more than happy to help out. And they can certainly reach me at, Hussein@parvazcc.com, that email there, or just visit my website, www.parvazcc.com. Thank you, Phil John.
Yes, thank you, Versa, already. So do a screenshot now, or you can just review this recorded session later, definitely. And feel free to message Sir offline or send him an email. And he is very responsive. So don't hesitate to do so if you want to get more of the structures in your PMOs. So thank you for the great discussion, sir, on the role of artificial intelligence in a PMO. So that's really appreciated. And yeah, we will go forward to the next topic that we have today. So we have here building a modern digital infrastructure for startups and new businesses. So we can discuss how modern organizations or startups can leverage the latest no-code tools, AI, and automation to create an end-to-end websites for their businesses, including the benefits and the use of tools like Rebel Corp if desired. So with this topic, we have uh, so we have here the founder and CEO of Rebel Corp with us to deliver this topic. And uh, aside from being the CEO, Rebel Corp also are building India's first platform for SME startups and individuals to easily create and manage their online presence. And this platform um, empowers each who uses it to access and transact with their customers directly and not depending on any of the tech guys to manage their websites or any device or desktop, tablet, or mobile. And it is designed to be simple and can even build a website yourself and don't even need to know any coding. As a short introduction of their business, which is can be reached at www.rebelcorp.in. And yes, as mentioned, our speaker Akash Chaturvedi is a CEO and founder of Rebel Corp Private Limited. And after completing his computer engineering from NMIMS University, he has founded the company Rebel Corp and built the software during the first wave of the COVID pandemic and launched this software to help people get online in the easiest possible manner at the age of 22, and spends half decade in freelancing and building websites for clients since the age of 16, and today has helped Rebel Corp partner with government organizations and also introduce the software as a course in various universities in India as a subject and complete course. And to hear more of this, let me present to you Sir Akash Chaturvedi.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that kind introduction, Phil John. I mean, it's amazing. Firstly, thank you for everybody at LetUsTalkIt for this great opportunity to be able to address the audience here. And feel honored to be able to, address and tell a little bit about, I think, my journey, as well as some things wherein what are the future prospects and where we could be looking at. So as you mentioned, to begin with, let me give a quick introduction to myself. As Phil John has mentioned, I've been building websites since the age of 16. So it's something which started as a hustle, and it was a great way to make money early on, when everybody's a computer science graduate and does not know how to really go out and make money. This was the easiest way. You could sit at home, you could do it, and that's sort of where exactly my journey began. But coming to what really is it that we're doing today, and what the entire objective would be, is that I would also, while introducing what is a modern landscape looking like for technology companies, for new age startups, or even traditional companies today, because tech is changing at such a rapid pace every day. That we need to be able to honestly keep up with the times, and be able to more than ever actually be in control of the situation. So to begin, I'll just quickly start with a little presentation regarding, exactly how is it modern digital landscape looking like, and what should companies be expecting when they're going in to build towards the future. So first thing, really coming to is that this no code and low code revolution. So this is something that really opened my eyes very early on in my career, because I went through the grind of being a freelancer, learning all sorts of different languages. So we went through entire series, where we went through HTML, CSS, these kind of different coding frameworks, and you slowly introduced to WordPress, PHP, these kinds of different frameworks in which you can use to obviously develop and build websites. But being in India, or for many other consumers around the world who are not familiar with technology, the challenge you usually face is that if you do not have coding expertise or something, or even understanding of how this technology is supposed to work, deployment and management after a point becomes a huge challenge for everyone. So we technically, kind of keep looking at it from the perspective that if you are a computer science graduate, or you are somebody who understands tech, for you this is really simple. But the reality is 99% of the world aren't really engineers, or people who know how to code. And especially from where I was, in India especially, technology was growing at such a rapid pace. Digitalization is something that really just boomed in the last few years, and COVID obviously being a huge accelerator to this. So traditionally, there were tons of different ways in which you can do it, but the biggest challenge was that there was nothing which was localized, simple, and based on things which were, people already knew. Like, I think today, if I have to even ask our audience today, how many of them have genuinely tried to build their own websites in the past and succeeded, and how many of them have actually been able to do it? So just as a quick question before I go any further, I would love to understand, even our audience joining here today, how many of you all have actually tried to build a website in the past for yourself or for your business, and how's that journey been? Everyone's seen different kinds of platforms. So if there's anybody who's done this.
Yeah. Anyone from the attendees would like to address a question? I haven't done it.
Okay, great. So I'm going to assume that is because a lot of you have not made a website, which probably you all don't know how to, or you all think it's a little bit tricky, or you need somebody's help, is what I'm going to be assuming right now. Because if nobody's answering, I assume it's because of that. But let's take it in this perspective, basically. Just that if you have tried to, I'm sure we will make tons of presentations before in our life, right? And fact is that websites are actually older than PowerPoint presentations. The first website was built in 1991, and we're sitting in 2021, and most of us have probably made hundreds of PowerPoint presentations. But surprisingly, not all of us have made our own websites, which just shows you that today technology has actually crossed the thresholds for what people understand. It's beyond coding, and today it has to be more accessible and more easy for a lot more people, because I think we have users across Instagram, different kind of platforms everywhere, where everybody knows how to use Instagram, and different kinds of Facebook and these kind of social media. But something which is so basic and so important actually is something that we've all forgotten on, is a core website. And looking at a digital landscape that exists today, right? So what we have to keep an eye out, while you might see apps, aggregators, social media platforms, what becomes the role of a modern website today in your business? Because I'm sure a lot of people who are starting businesses today feel that, there's so many things to be done. You need to create a social media, and you need to build your brand, you need to build, get listen on all the aggregator, irrespective of what industry you're actually operating in. The idea is that this is something that you're going to have to keep evolving and getting better and better with time. But what happens to these different things and how do they interact with them? Because everyone believes they can do business via Instagram, but what happens is those when you're building a social media following, it's great for getting traction, but you're going to get a like over there. A like isn't something that generally translates into business, because somebody can give you a like just like that. It costs nothing. But turning that like into somebody, it'll help you create that awareness, but to get the interest is where your websites. And I think today with people who are designing model kind of ad campaigns and funnels, I'm sure many of them you see, it's all to do to integrate and get you back to the website. So building a modern website, irrespective of what kind of industry you are and what kind of service you're providing, whether you're selling online, not selling online, it's a must. So it goes without saying that in today's digital landscape, I think you got to keep an eye out for making sure that your modern website has a role and a purpose where it fits in this greater scheme of things. And going ahead in the future, the role of that has to keep evolving. So one primary thing that we want to keep an eye out when building it is to make sure that you have something that basically it helps you in providing your credibility, communicating that thing, generating inquiries, and most importantly, find you on Google and different kind of social media. So that in essence is the role of what a modern digital website looks like. And I think for most of the people here who are not familiar with going around on how to do this today, there are easier ways than ever before, thanks to low code and no code happening. And I think coming even to some of the points that Mr. Hasnan had pointed out earlier, that AI is going to come in a big way to revolutionize the entire process of building and managing and how people interact with your website as well. I think we are just at the tip of the iceberg of what more is going to be coming in. And in terms of how we can be scaling, growing these businesses digitally, it's going to be quite different in the coming years. In fact, even in the coming months, we get exposed to these kind of things on a daily basis. So coming back to what we basically designed at RebelCop, just to give you a little thing that it's all-in-one website builder platform, wherein we basically saw all of the different platforms available today and saw that there's a big challenge for most of the end users who have possibly made presentations or have done this to be able to actually run and manage their own website. So that's kind of where we kind of took off and started work on RebelCop's platform. But today, I'm here to give you a little more insight into what more can be expected, what more are the roles from a modern website. So, one thing is obviously to keep an eye out for automations being very important. Having something which is completely streamlined, something which is fully working for you through our system and platform is something that you want to be able to do. So what I'm going to do next is get into actually how RebelCop kind of very quickly, in an idea, in a nutshell, how it works, how you can use it, how several different industries, different businesses have gone on and built the entire business on our platform, and different ways in wherein you can use this to create, as I said, in the center of our topic, to build a modern infrastructure that doesn't go obsolete and at the same time can be constantly upgraded and improved. All right. Great. So I'll just get to the actual RebelCop platform to give you guys a quick insight into how that's going to be working actually. Yes. So basically, the modern website platform, what is there is in essence to help you do three things of your website: to help you create, manage, and grow your business. And if you can do all of these things, means you're building something which is modern, it's scalable, and at the same time, it is going to be something that will genuinely, what you're trying to build is a growth engine. So fundamentally, you have, like in simple terms, it's your shop, it's your transaction, it's your salesman 24/7 from where people are interacting. But it's not just about having a good looking website, it's having something which is genuinely very effective. So to do that, you can come across various different tools which are there, which will help you in doing it. So SEO is very important because SEO is something that today with AI is going to be changing very, very dynamically. So how easily can you change SEO is going to make sure that how effectively can you start ranking for certain keywords? How do you, start making sure that you're positioning yourself to the right audience, with the right customers, with the right language. So in a way, it kind of will be working towards, building that whole thing as well. I can see that I've got a question from Dream asking me if it's similar to Shopify. Yes, it is in a way similar to Shopify, but again, we built it for I used to be a Shopify developer for years. And the reason I moved over here is because I built something like this because it's a lot simpler for my end consumer to use, especially those who do not know how to edit on Shopify. So the entire thing is the drag and drop interface here is a lot more simpler and closer to PowerPoint than it is to actually any other traditional website development platform. And to be at it, actually, we are going to be integrating Shopify on our builder very soon as well. So you can have the functionality of Shopify with the ease of RebelCop coming in very soon. So I hope, Reem, that addresses your question as well. So going back to our question about quest for what is exactly going to be involved in this modern all-in-one platform as well, is that you have something which is a CRM tool that's helping you capture, manage, track all the data in a structured format. And it's very important that this data that you're capturing be in a structured format, because today, the website is just one part of a much bigger digital landscape, which I showed you earlier, that if you have probably sales teams working on Salesforce, different kind of softwares. The leads being generated and being gathered through your site needs to be in a structured manner so that you can integrate this from your website easily into your main sales CRM. So that's where having something which is inbuilt structured like this is where it's going to help you when you're scaling on a much long term, to make sure that you will be able to the world today is all about Zoho, CRMs, and these kind of really powerful tools, which are obviously there. But looking at one aspect, by having this CRM inbuilt, a much easier version of it inbuilt for small customers, I think for startups, this is ideal because this is something that can help you in really effectively getting this in place. Again, coming back to SEO and blogs, they work very hand in hand with each other because you're trying to rank on Google, the blogs are helping you do that in a very much more effective way. And now, since all of this is AI powered, actually through RebelCop's platform, we also allow you to generate blogs with the help of AI. So you can actually generate full blogs and use them within the AI tool as well. So anything, wherever there's copy on your website, actually you can use AI to help improve it through a really good integration with OpenAI coming on the builder as well. Coming to what is genuinely going to help your business grow is not just having, one is that letting customers find you, get discoverable by promoting your website effectively on various different channels. Everybody looks at, Google ads. You can look at social media to promote your website and start getting traffic. And once you have at least half of this done, you have a good looking website, you're able to manage the leads which are coming onto it, and you're able to integrate that elsewhere also. But the next step is to make sure that you're building something that is working for you. And for that, this is where automations are going to come in a big way. So this is where you need automations if you want to transact with your customers. I mean, today, collecting payments on this platform, actually on RebelCop, you can set up the e-commerce store in just 15 minutes time. So you don't even need anything more than that. And whereas when we're discussing of email marketing and automations, it's once you have this entire setup ready, which is a good looking website with a CRM, which is managing and tracking and capturing data, your next step should be to be able to remarket and engage. Because as any business, the most important thing that you can do is once you acquire the customers and you have the data of that customers, it's about how effectively can you reuse that data. Because what happens is, let's say if I'm an e-commerce brand, now my customer who's there and who's already purchased an item from me is going to be much cheaper for me to actually acquire as a customer for another product of mine as compared to somebody who's never actually done a transaction with me. So this is where tools like email marketing automation are useful for spreading awareness and creating to your existing customers or even to potentially new customers who you want to do. And the good part is today you're able to automate this whole interaction. So you can plan a whole email campaign out, which can be there, and as well as link it up with automation. So every time, you can create triggers and these kind of things wherein if somebody comes and fills up a form, you want an automated brochure that goes to them. If they reply, again, if they click on the brochure, you want a secondary mail to go to help them in setting up an appointment for that. So you are able to set up all of these things with the help of automations and using the tools. And in fact, now coming back to AI again, is that you can use AI to actually design the whole email campaign and automation for you, which can look stunning, and you'll be able to get that whole thing done. So you can definitely try exploring this through the Rebelcop platform. And whether you're, as I said in the start, whether you're a modern business, you're a new age startup, or you're just somebody who's looking to build something which will be scalable for the future. Today, with the help of the integrations possible on this platform, you're able to connect this website to almost 10,000 different applications. We've got ties with Zapier and lots of other tech companies wherein you can use this software and actually link it up to tons of different applications, and overall build a much more robust online system wherein you're in control. Because I think if it captures it right here on our first line, because we say very clearly, this is not about just building websites, it's about managing them. And for managing it, you don't need a whole team of technological people. You need people who just know how to operate and make it accessible to make changes and be able to run things very smoothly. So whether the more you can do with it today, the idea is that you will be able to kind of get this. And today, our platform has been used by several different customers all over the world, and using this to actually create their presence. They have also joined us in partnering and making websites for fellow clients. And today, this entire solutions, as a partner, they've gone created. You can go out, create, and help more people, and also getting online using these same tools. And the good part is, the big difference is that you can actually provide, control back to your clients and to your customers. And whether you're doing it yourself, the entire idea is that you have a dashboard from where you're able to do it. You have tutorials, you have tech support, you have all of the things which will help you in making your business a lot more efficient. Because eventually the idea is that in a business, we are all just trying to transact with one another. So the simpler we make it for the end consumer, and we make it for any of the people who are actually trying to reach you online, right? It's where you can make something super powerful and super easy without needing to really do too many complications and coding. And at the way the world is going, you can always kind of keep improving and getting better and better with the more innovations that you can come up with right here from the Rebelcop platform, or from tools which are even third party. So this is just, I think, the tip of the iceberg on what we can explore in the given time frame. I'm gonna just before I go ahead, just leave some time for any questions. Anybody has any thoughts about what, if anything else, also would be a great time to just take these questions, right?
Yes, correct. And anyone from the attendees who have generated their questions. And yes, we have here Reem. I just checked your website. It looks amazing. Looking forward to sign up for my e-commerce store soon. Wow. So
Wow. Amazing, Reem. That's really what we want to do. It's that simple. So it's not just for anybody who wants to do e-commerce. Again, the idea is that you can build an idea today. Websites are in my opinion, one of the most easiest ways to get an idea from your head into the real world. In fact, I've had amazing tons of case studies which we've been teaching in universities across in India, wherein today we've helped some restaurants actually build a whole restaurant and gather customers without even needing to buy a single pot or a pan or even fix on a location, which is quite amazing when you think about it. So I'll give you a little case study here. What we did was we basically took the menu, we took a few concepts and an idea, and we promoted that website digitally. And we told people, this is what's going to happen. This is the menu. These are the kind of things that you can do. And just if you're interested and you like what you see, just sign up. And the ironic thing is we did this, I think, for a restaurant somewhere in Jan 2023. And the restaurant actually launched in March 2023. But what was exciting was the restaurant had almost 200 customers who had signed up to that list before they'd even actually started the restaurant, which is quite an amazing thing that you can do today. And those are just different kind of concepts and ideas with what more can you do when things are easy, fast, and simple. And why some of the largest companies in the world today, from your Googles to Amazon, everybody is looking at this no code and low code revolution. And now with AI coming in to even code certain of the modules, the difference is what used to earlier take us 6 months when I was developing on WordPress or PHP or something, which was very complicated. The reason it would take me 6 months is because I would need to try, test, get a lot of things. Today, I'm able to do the same thing probably in 2 weeks' time, because 80% of the functionality that I'm looking for is actually available and exists today. And the idea is to leverage most of this kind of infrastructure that is available to us today to make the most out of what more can you put out there in the world, So that in short is a little bit more ideas around what more can be done. And for most people who are just looking to probably set up a hustle or do a business today, the idea is that the main thing is you can take an idea and just put it out there and just promote it correctly, and you will find something that turns from a side hustle into a full-time hustle very soon as well. Awesome. So Phil John, I don't know, are we looking at any other questions or anything else?
Yes, I am checking right now on the live. So we don't have any question on live yet so far. And yes, giving another time for our attendees to write their questions. If you don't want to open your mic, you can just put it on chat, Reem, or put it on the Q&A section. And while we are waiting, we have a few minutes until the second part will be fully covered. We'd like you, sir, to promote any other endeavors you'll be doing in the future. If you have future, like if you have other webinars, or if you have some other things you'd like to promote.
Sure. So main thing is obviously I would love for anybody who's attending or checking this out at any given point in time, please feel free to get started. We have a free trial to our platform, and where you can actually try using and gain the whole functionality. We also have a very cool Instagram and podcast that we're starting. So you can stay tuned to us. I can on Rebel Cop on official on Instagram as well, where you can stay tuned to a lot of different things. So the exciting thing is we have a really cool podcast which y'all can check out. And if anybody who's building a business or even just wants to learn more about tech, we being in the space of launching an AI-based platform, we learn so much ourselves every day. So you can check out the podcast for fun new tips which will help you really improve productivity, use different kind of things which in our everyday lives which are affecting and getting changed with the help of AI. You can check out these kind of cool tunes, and you can stay tuned to that as well. So we can go over, we have a Instagram page also, which is Rebel Cop Official. So here you can check out, we have tons of different episodes on different kind of things about how you can use not just AI across for websites or these kind of things, but things which can help you enhance it, create brand identity, create videos, create different things, all with the help of AI, which can help you in turn promote your website, promote your business, and how you can get more customers using different kind of tools as well. And in short, yeah, I think that'd be a great starting point for us also, for anybody who's interested to come check it out, play around with the trial. Stay tuned on Instagram for our podcast and more interesting things which are happening as well.
That's really fantastic. Thank you so much. And we have here from YouTube Live, Saad Khan, and said, very insightful, Akash. So that's from our YouTube Live area. So yes, if you wish to get in touch with Rebel Corp, as shown below, and also you can search Sir Akash's name on LinkedIn if you wish to chat with him for any other offline interactions. And before we close, any other attendees would like to ask or bring their insights? Already then. So thank you so much, speakers. So greatly appreciate your effort, your insights, and the experience you have brought into the Let Us Talk It Zipinar initiative. So giving back to the community with free knowledge is really valuable. So, information is everywhere with the touch of the internet, but putting your experiences to that information and the specific learnings that you have makes it more valuable. So we thank you so much for that. And for those who attended this webinar, thank you so much for joining and spending your time learning with these wonderful speakers that we have today. And for those who will be watching the live session, uh, make sure to take notes, get screenshots, and yeah, if you wish to communicate with our speakers, their informations are in the recorded session. So thank you so much again, each and everyone, and we would like to formally close the webinar today, and we'd like to invite you for next Wednesday's session. So we do this webinar every Wednesday, the same time, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to stay tuned for our social medias for the topics that will be discussed on next Wednesday. So for speakers as well, if you have time as well, you can join again on next Wednesday, and by that time you'll be attendees. So yeah, we will formally now close this webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, and keep safe as always. And thank you for joining. Let us talk it, Zipinar. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Sir Hussein and Sir Akash.
Thank you.